I'm Michael Rosenfield. We'll get to our top stories in just a moment, but first let's head over to the Weather Center and check in with Chris Edwards. Hey, Chris. Negotiations on a new contract between the Big Three and the UAW are set to begin. Chrysler and the UAW will come together to begin formal talks tomorrow morning. This new ad for milk is stirring up a bit of a controversy. The campaign features men and touts milk as a way to lessen the effects of PMS. And if you had to pick 3 things you couldn't live without, what would you pick? Turns out both men and women agree on 2 of the top 3. And good morning, everybody. Time right now, 8 o'clock on the dot on the Sunday, May 29th. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Michael Rosenfield. Now an update to a story you saw breaking on Action News yesterday morning about a double shooting at a park in Ann Arbor. The woman involved says her ex-husband tried to kill her before turning the gun on himself. It happened early yesterday morning at Dolph Nature Park. The woman told police her 37-year-old ex held her at gunpoint before firing 2 shots. She was able to get out of the car and run for help. He died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The couple has 3 children. Jobs in the Farmington School District are staying in-house. The job security comes at the cost of a 25% pay cut for some, plus other concessions. The school's custodial and transportation jobs were at risk after the administration recommended outsourcing the work. Thanks to the concessions, the district expects to save $15 million over the next 3 years. All right, time right now is 8:06. Action News this morning, just getting started.
And when we come back, Vice President Joe Biden talking about 2 Detroit automakers.
And he was with us at 6 a.m. and he's sticking around. There he is, Rob Dahm from this season's The Bachelorette is talking about the reality show and his experience. But first up, Chris, and the reality of this weekend's steamy weather. Vice President Joe Biden is crediting the administration for the comeback of the American auto industry. During his weekly radio and internet address yesterday, Biden praised Chrysler's early repayment of the federal loans that saved it from disaster. He also said GM is strong, citing how the car company is starting up 3 shifts at the Hamtramck plant for the first time in 26 years. President Obama, meantime, is scheduled to visit a Toledo Chrysler plant on Friday to talk about the automaker's recovery. And after we talked about that yesterday, somebody tweeted me, it's like Batman and Robin, which I thought was actually pretty good.
Very
pretty
clever.
Smart.
Why don't we think of that?
Well, it may only be spring, but the hunt for Michigan State Christmas tree is underway. He joined us during the 6 o'clock hour. Now he's with us again to talk about the show. All right, Rob, so first of all, when you see that clip, are you still sad or?
That poor guy.
Another hour of Action News continues in just a few minutes.
And when we come back, the death toll continues to rise a week after the monster tornado hit the small town of Joplin. A local couple who survived that tornado shares their story with Action News.
And take a look at our Doppler 7 radar. We may be in for another round of storms later today, but first, no matter the weather, there's always sunshine when Mary Conway's around.
Oh, you're so good to me.
I'm Michael Rosenfield. You've got to shake the gray skies and the rain once and for all and get to some hot and sunny weather. How about it, Chris? A couple who moved from St. Clair to Joplin survived the tornado. They spoke to us via Skype and shared their story about that devastating day. And with the tornado in Joplin, officials say 2011 is now the deadliest year for tornadoes. Meanwhile, more flooding woes for folks along the Mississippi River and its tributaries. People in Pierre, South Dakota are scrambling to protect homes and businesses as the heavily swollen Missouri River continues to rise. With more rain expected there this weekend, the governor is urging people to be proactive, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is closely monitoring the situation. General Motors pulling the plug on a hybrid version of the Cadillac SRX crossover. GM says the planned plug-in hybrid would have to be sold at a substantial loss. The automaker is now leaning towards a traditional hybrid instead of a plug-in model. GM is also planning to introduce a hybrid on 2012 Buick sedans and on the 2013 Malibu.
Well, the largest country fair in the nation is taking place this Memorial Day weekend right here in Michigan. It's the 39th annual St. Mary's Polish Fair.
And Action News reporter Mary Conway is live in Orchard Lake. Hey, Mary. The annual Movement Electronic Music Festival is in full force in downtown Detroit. More than 100 artists perform all weekend in front of thousands of people. And joining me right now, Ted Crisco and Eric Ricker of Ataxia. Guys, welcome to Channel 7 this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Let's talk about the group. How'd you guys come together, first of all?
Plus,
this is a real tattoo!
Two of the most anticipated sequels are in theaters right now. This one's pretty much for adults, but there is also one for kids as well. After making a record-setting $30 million on Thursday, projections for the sequel over the 5-day weekend now sit at $139 million. And this Memorial Day, it joins another familiar title at the movies. Andy Rose has a preview in this week's Now Showing. All right, well, you could win free tickets to Cedar Point.
Yeah, it's easy. Simply go to our homepage at WXYZ.com, click the Entertainment tab, then Contest. You'll find the Cedar Point story and then enter for your chance to win. Time right now is 8:55. When we come back, a warning for campers at a popular park in northern Michigan.
But first, a warning for everyone. It'll be super hot very soon. Let's head over to Chris. And good morning once again, everybody. Time right now, 8:59 on the Sunday, May 29th. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Michael Rosenfield. Family and friends took it to the ice Saturday to pay tribute to hockey star Ian Jenkins. The 15-year-old died last week from a head injury he suffered when he fell from his friend's pickup truck. Ian was rated one of the top 15 goalies in the country. His injury came just one day after he signed a contract with the London Knights in the Ontario Hockey League. Among those on hand for the Ypsilanti Teens Memorial, Red Wing Chris Osgood and hockey legend Ted Lindsay. Jobs in the Farmington School District staying in-house. The job security comes at the cost of a 25% pay cut for some, plus other concessions. The school's custodial and transportation jobs were at risk after the administration recommended outsourcing the work. Well,
You
Mary,
guys have a great day.
You made our day this morning, and leave it to Jeremy, of course, to come up with all the technical gadgetry to make that all happen. Mary, thanks a lot. That was fun.
Thank you so much. Well, there are Memorial Day parades scheduled in several local cities throughout the day tomorrow.
In Sterling Heights, the parade follows a 9 a.m. ceremony at City Hall with a 10 a.m. start from Dodge Park Road. Royal Oaks festivities also begin at 9 a.m. near Main Street and Harrison, where the traditional post-parade service will be held at the Royal Oak Veterans Memorial between City Hall and the library. The recent storms and heavy rains ripping through the Midwest and right here in Metro Detroit have many people thinking about home flood insurance. Interest in flood coverage has been a hot topic, so is now the time to buy flood insurance. Our money man Bob Ingram from Ameriprise Financial is here with that. And Bob, so many people dealing with basement flooding across Metro Detroit. Do homeowners need to add flood insurance to their insurance plan?
Well, Mike,
So how do you really decide if the coverage is worth the extra cost?
well, you look at the risks and you look at what could happen.
Yeah, Camp Casey needs your vote to help them win a brand new truck. The voting is today only. It runs until midnight. Camp Casey has been narrowed down to 1 out of 5 organizations nationwide with a chance at a new truck from Toyota. The group says they'd use the truck to expand their Horsey House Calls program. The program brings Mo, the horse, to children battling cancer. There's a link to vote on our homepage at WXYZ.com. And Mo was here at Channel 7 yesterday, and we had a great time with him. And just feeding him carrots was a blast. He tried to eat the microphone at one point, but that was so much fun. And I guess we got to vote.
Yes.
Let's do it right now.
Yes, we're going to vote, so please do. We'll be right back.
Back to you.
All right, Chuck, thank you. Well, back in April, I said there's always May. And now I guess there's always June. And if we get to there's always July, we're in big trouble.
We're in big trouble then.
June is going to be better. It's going to be warmer.
Chris, thank you. And thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Hope you have a great holiday weekend.